There you have it. The series done and dusted. The T20 International Series goes India's way 2-0 with one game to play at the Sydney Cricket Ground. Happy hunting ground for India. 3 times they've played a T20 International against Australia. They've won every single one. And at the end, Hardik Pandya made it look easy. A couple of sixes were needed, and he didn't want to bother with anything more than just 6 plus 6, finishing up with 42 of 22 deliveries, just what was needed after the fall of Virat Kohli. He was joined by Shreyas Iyer, who hit a couple of blows of his own, including a huge 111-meter six of Adam Zampa to seal the deal at the end. It was a fair run chase, over 190 to chase, but what it meant at the end, it was the 9th time consecutively that India have chased in a T20 international and done so successfully. I'm in the company on My 11 Circle presents Cricbuzz Live of Michael Vaughan and Zaheer Khan. And I'm sure, Zaheer, you'd be delighted with that because it was a fairly stiff run chase with a few unknown factors thrown in.
It was. I think you can say this was a clinical run chase. As we were mentioning that, that first power play was very important. They got 60 of that. They ticked that box very nicely. You see the top 3 in that scorecard contributing to 125 runs. So, that is something which was very important when you're chasing such a total. And Hardik Pandya is just a special player, isn't it? He just made it look so simple. This is what he's known for, and he's enjoying that responsibility of a finisher, bringing that power in. I felt that, maybe Matthew Wade went wrong in just kind of closing the power play well. He could have actually approached that game differently, understanding 190 is the target, 190 plus. That time, the first 6 overs are going to be crucial. So get your best resources out. Bringing in Maxwell after that expensive over of tie, maybe not really help the cause there. And in this format, you've seen the margins, and margins are so small. So I think, maybe on the hindsight, you will be looking at not really closing that power play well for the team.
That had nothing to do with our analysis, Michael Vaughan. That was Zaheer Khan hurting because it was Matthew Wade who colluded with Michael Vaughan to ensure that those bowling changes would get 60 runs for India. And you were spot on. My 11 Circle badge of honor, Michael Vaughan.
Yeah, I've got a direct line into Matthew Wade. And obviously bowling Glenn Maxwell just gave me the opportunity to get the badge of honour. 3rd time on the trot, so I don't want to brag too much, but I'm getting lucky with my predictions. I thought it was a great game of cricket. It's a tremendous chase whenever you chase that kind of target. I thought the kind of cameos came at the right time. You always felt that going down to about the last 3 overs that I thought we were going to be talking about Australia getting key wickets at key periods, but when you've got someone like Hardik Pandya that can play like he is and has the confidence levels as he has at the minute, he is a wonderful cricketer. I just like anyone that plays the game at the highest level under the utmost pressure, like it's just another game of cricket, like it's just the kind of game they were playing when they were 11 years of age. And that's exactly what Hardik Pandya can achieve at the highest level. He just makes cricket and plays the game like it's just another ball coming at him. It's not a huge event. It's just a game of cricket, and he plays the smart game. He's got a real good mind about him, and he's obviously got all the power to match. He's a wonderful player.
Yeah, Zaheer, we've talked about a lot of aspects of Hardik Pandya throughout this series because of your close proximity to him, be it his impish nature, the prankster in him. But not often do we talk about the cool finisher, because he just at no point, if you looked at the body language, you'd feel calm in that dressing room and you'd say, okay, Hardik's out there, he's going to finish it, and he did.
It strikes you, isn't it? Like he's just so relaxed, not really flustered by the dot balls if there are any in that stage, just because the sheer belief he has that he can hit a 6 at any stage, and he waits for that bowler to make that error, and he makes sure that the bowler is under pressure, and more and more he's going to go into his career. He's going to create a reputation like this, which is going to be very hard for any bowler to deal with at that stage if he's in at the crease.
Given that he's had to focus on one aspect here of his game, can we almost call this the coming of age of Hardik Pandya? He's not had to think about the bowling other than chipping in with a little bit. So all focus on the batting. And in a sense, it's been good to be able to let him develop that side of him.
Well, I think I will always advocate that he should bowl. Like I've been saying, the balance. Just imagine, the kind of batting which he's doing, add his bowling to it, and his fielding. He's a great asset to have, a match winner. So something which he should always consider to work on his bowling and provide that kind of a balance to the side. And he's definitely used this time at the moment to turn things around with regard to his batting. He's growing in confidence and turning out to be a great impact player at this level.
And they did sort of have.
Yeah, I was saying that if you have to look at the next 3 years, with the T20 World Cup being in India, obviously the IPLs, the next 50-over World Cups in India in 2023, Hardik Pandya has got a great opportunity of becoming the next global superstar. If you look at someone like MS Dhoni, he had that mantle for many, many years. Virat Kohli has it. It's generally the Indian players that get put onto this kind of pedestal. And I think Hardik's got the great chance of being the next superstar across a few years, going and win a World Cup next year with the T20 team, then get closer, if not to win it in 2023. And I think for India to win those two events, it's going to need a player like Hardik Pandya to have the kind of impact that we're seeing him have now. He's definitely got it in him to be the next superstar of Indian cricket.
But just to add to what you're saying, Michael Vaughan, yes, he's done brilliantly in this series, finished the game off for India. He said so in that post-match interview that his focus was to finish the game. The 6 was just a bonus, really. But that bowling aspect will have to come in. Someone like Virat Kohli is a superstar because he's just so polished in one form of the game. MS Dhoni, keeper, batsman, captain. But for Hardik Pandya, not necessarily looking at him as a leader. It'll have to be those two all-round abilities.
Yeah, and that's why I say he's just got an incredible platform now to build on. Now we know that he can get into the team purely as a batsman, and then you add that to a bit of bowling, and obviously he's brilliant in the field as well. He should consistently be doing this for India. We've seen him do it for the Mumbai Indians, and I think for India, he's just starting to become more consistent because he's obviously had to focus just on his batting, and that's improved it. It's helped it. It's obviously helped his game. It's helped his mind. And if you've got two of the next 3 World Cups being in your own backyard in conditions that you know so well, he's got a great chance over the next few years of really putting himself into that superstar category.
Now, Zaheer, in all fairness, Australia were on more than one occasion ahead of the game. We were on Combox, Michael Vaughan and myself, and when Shikhar Dhawan's wicket fell, he just felt that it went from 50-50 to a 70-30 game almost in Australia's favour. And it was. India were sort of chasing the game, but first Kohli, then Hardik finished it off. But do you attribute anything to the slight inexperience in Australia's bowling lineup other than the 2 leg spinners, Zaheer?
Well, I think they've done well. I think this was a good game of cricket. There was some good cricket played by both the teams. From Australia getting to that winning total, you thought that okay, if the bowling actually supports this, they can win this game of cricket. It was an even game. They've been picking wickets at the right time to put pressure on this Indian batting lineup, and then just a special effort of Hardik and Shreyas at the end, got them through. So I think it was just a good game of cricket. Apart from that first 6 overs, with regard to the bowling options used, I didn't see any other thing which Australian team could have done differently.
Then I think what will please India also will be that we've had 2 games, very different from each other in that sense, of course, different venues, but they've set the score once, they've chased a second time around. So that momentum shift after that third ODI, Michael, really seems to be working a la 2016.
Yeah, I think that's a good sign for a team when you can win both ways. You get teams that can only win by either chasing or setting. India can do it either way now. They've just proven that. Just one thing on Australia, I'm surprised he didn't use Moses Henriques more. He bowled 1 over for 9. It's his home ground. He knows the dimensions really well. He's bowled very well already against India over the course of the last week. So I'm surprised that Matthew Wade didn't use the Sixers captain a little bit more in his home venue. India are powerful. They've got, when you think there's no Jadeja in the team, there's no Bumrah. That's a real big win for the Indian side to get over the line chasing that kind of target in Sydney at a ground that they've been hammered at in the last 10 days in terms of the 50-over game. To bring their Canberra form to Sydney, it holds well for India going into the the last T20 game, and then they have to get the minds on the Test series, which is going to be the real big challenge for them throughout this tour. Will be those 4 Test matches, with obviously Virat only playing in the first one.
But I think it's a good reflection on the depth on both sides, to be honest, Zaheer. If we were to create an 11, a combined India-Australia 11 of players missing out, it would be quite a powerful lineup. I mean, you'd have David Warner, Aaron Finch, Rohit Sharma, Jasprit Bumrah, Mohammad Shami, Mitchell Starc, Josh Hazelwood, Pat Cummins. The list goes on.
Well, blame it on injuries and COVID time, I guess. This is the new normal. So you've seen the schedule also kind of being condensed, and that's how the team managements are approaching things differently as well. Keeping the requirement of the players and the format in mind.
Yeah, certainly have. But it's obviously something to celebrate for Team India. Partly the momentum, but 6 December is the day when they've won this T20 International Series. And historically, as we dug out, it's been a date when many Indian achievements have come on the 6th of December. It is, of course, cricket season time. The one item you won't find on that list, which happened on one day later, was Zaheer Khan picking up his maiden fifer in Australia at the Gabba. So, sorry, Zaheer, one day before rather. We could have altered the date slightly, but nonetheless, that's quite a list for December 6th.
I think it's just a coincidence. Unless you are now turning the focus to being a numerologist, then it's a different story we have to decode. But apart from that, I think it's just a coincidence that the 6th of December date, Indian team has been putting up some good performances.
But I think the one of all those that I'd really like to pick out, because some are, of course, across formats, Michael, is the fact that India, on the 6th of December 2018, chased down 190 plus in Hyderabad against the West Indies. On that occasion, it was significant that Kohli got 95, which was his highest T20 international score. He didn't need to get that many because he had a lot of help from Shreyas Iyer, from Shikhar Dhawan, from Hardik Pandya. So overall, rather, it was 19 rather. But overall, I think that brings a little significance into it, chasing such a big score down.
Yeah, I mean, Virat played nicely. His 40 came off 24 deliveries. He got into his stride. He'd be disappointed that he couldn't see the team right through till the end. But, I think it's almost more satisfying. And from an Indian perspective, they should be looking at it in this way, that they had good contributions from many of the batters. There was a good start. Then Virat played nicely. Shreyas Iyer with that. I thought those 2 boundaries that he hit off Adam Zampa in the 19th, the big 6 and then the cup 4, was a real kind of shift in momentum. I just felt that over of Adam Zampa was just swaying it all towards Australia's way, and then all of a sudden those 2 boundaries arrived. And to win a game like that when the team have contributed, it wasn't a standout individual really that just did the overall either chase or with the ball in hand. You go back to the bowling aspect of things, Natarajan is outstanding. For him to have bowled so well, to have only gone at 5s on a pitch where everyone else go across both bowling units, have been travelling at well over 9s. That's an outstanding effort. I don't know, have they announced man of the match yet? Because he'd be my man of the match, the left arm seamer.
Well, yes, significant that you should say that, Michael Vaughan, because the man of the match, who is Hardik Pandya, did say that he feels Natarajan should be man of the match. So it's given by Hardik Pandya and Michael Vaughan, and I think it's a fair call. Let's get the beaming left arm seamer into it, Zaheer. Michael Vaughan said it. It really was sort of those 10, 15 less runs that India conceded that made such a difference, and he was a standout performer, no matter who gets man of the match.
Well, looking at how the game has gone, you can clearly see that it was a good batting wicket. Both the teams were able to put up runs and bowlers under pressure on this sort of a track. And on a day like this, when you have a standout performer like Natarajan, definitely deserves that appreciation. And it was great of Hardik to appreciate that openly and give the youngster that confidence as well. He has certainly been the find of the tour and growing in confidence. So good things to come his way for sure in future.
Gautam, it proves to you what I said at the halfway stage, where I said that it's batters that get all the airtime.
Yeah, well, there you go.
Batting get all the airtime. It's what everyone always remembers, unfortunately. A bowler turns up and gets his 2 for 20 on a ground that's pretty much averaging around 8 or 9, 10 runs and over, and he delivers his skill incredibly. And when the officials come to choose the man of the match, they forget about him. It's typical.
Yeah, we've got one. I know Zaheer Khan is part of that bowling club, but the one who really heads it up with great passion is Simon Dool. Every time there's a man of the match, Dooley is just running around everywhere, almost advocating. If it's a commentary team doing it, he'll be looking over the shoulder. Who are you giving it to? Okay, that's fine. Who are you giving it to? He's bullying the batsman into making sure that the bowlers get it. But fair call, fair play to Hardik Pandya for mentioning Natarajan. But Michael, Virat Kohli at the end, the first thing, the standout thing that he mentioned was that without some key players there, to have a victory of this nature is what makes him most proud.
Yeah, I mean, we've talked about the depth. I think actually now in this era of the game, most teams around the world could put out 2 T20 teams. There's that many T20 players across, India, Australia, England. We've got lots and lots of players that could step in and play T20 cricket. But when you chase down a total like that and you're kind of looking at your dressing room and you're giving younger players the opportunity, and you're also seeing that Bumrah's not there, Shami's not played this evening, there's no Rohit Sharma, that's a big win. And it's a big win because you want to continue with the momentum. The T20 team for India this year has been outstanding. They're just winning every game, and they're winning from positions necessarily in the 50-over format they wouldn't have won from. I can't quite put my head on and the reason why that is the case, but you just get on a roll in teams, and the Indian T20 team at the minute is just on this kind of great roll. They know they can win from any position, whether they're fielding first, batting first. They've got everything pretty much covered, and that mindset it's a great dressing room to be in when you know that you're winning games that necessarily you could possibly have lost. And the last 2 games are kind of proof of that they're not far away from losing, but ultimately they're winning, and it's because of that belief and confidence that they have in the team at the minute.
Yeah, that's a great satisfaction, Zaheer. I mean, sometimes you can steamroll an opposition on more than one occasion, and yes, it's great. It's great to have a massive win. But if you know that the opposition were in the game, they had a chance of winning. At one stage, they were ahead, and you come on more than one occasion and do that. That's what augurs well for you in that knockout scenario, as and when it turns out.
Absolutely. So this is their 9th win in a row, isn't it? So it's a long winning streak in this format. There is no doubt about it, and a lot has to be contributed with the belief they've been walking in. And when you're winning matches from the position, it could have gone either way. That's something which goes a long way in terms of carrying forward this momentum and the winning streak. So it's amazing to see how in this format Indian team has been winning consistently and over this such a long period of time, because we all know that how unpredictable this format is and how small the margins are. So a lot of confidence should be taken from this kind of a winning streak, and the whitewash will be perfect, I think, in this series to set the tone for the test matches.
Yes, but of course we all talk about the year, and we all talk about the year matching the format. But for India, 2020 has been a perfect 2020 year thus far. 1 to go. Can they make it that? 9 2020s in 2020, and they won every single one of them. That's it. It's too much of a tongue twister. I'm not going to keep saying that. Let's go to the My 11 Circle Ultimate Team of the day, and you'll find plenty of these Indian impact players who will be in there, even though Matthew Wade is the captain with that strike rate and the points he got from that, he remains the captain. Shikhar Dhawan, with his strike rate, slips in as vice captain, but it's the nucleus of India's victory that came from Kohli, a little bit from Rahul and Hardik Pandya that got them in there. And of course, let's mention Stephen Smith, our My 11 Circle trump card. And right at the bottom, the person we felt, certainly Hardik Pandya felt, Michael Vaughan felt, and we all agreed, Natarajan was outstanding. Could be even a contender for man of the match. But our man of the match, or our My 11 Circle champion of the day with the best selection, goes to Nithi. Okay, fair enough. I'm assuming that's your name, but we'll go with that. Okay, thumbs up to you. Well done, young man from Kerala. And he has the best selection of the team. It's great fun to keep selecting your teams. Your work's not done yet, because come Tuesday, you'll have to do it all over again. It's a brand new game. you'll have to do it all over again, as will the two teams. Australia and India going head-to-head, and I think it'll be an important game for Australia from their point of view to try and again shift the momentum exactly as India did. Yes, it was not just about reducing the margin to 2-1. You can see the impact it's had on the T20 international series. So probably more important for Australia than even for the Indians. So here, just from a point of view, the mental point of view, all the players they've lost, they came out positive with Matthew Wade's innings there. But at the end of the 40 overs, they've come out second best. So it'll be important for them on Tuesday.
Absolutely. I think it'll be interesting to see if there are any more changes or any more recoveries from the injuries, because since the injury list is so long, we'll have to see how it goes. And also because the series is done and dusted, how they approach it before the test series start, that will be another thing to watch out for. I don't think any changes will be seen from the Indian side. They will possibly continue with the same thing. But as far as Australians are concerned, I think maybe if Josh Hazlewood is fit and wants to play, then that one change will be on the cards. Rest is pretty much going to stay the same.
Well, they have drafted Nathan Lyon in as a possible replacement. We've already seen plenty of spin from Maxwell and the two leg spinners. Do you see any possibility, Michael, of Nathan getting a little bit of a look in? Not his necessarily favorite format.
No, I don't see that. I'm surprised actually that he's been called up with the Test series just around the corner. I would expect that Australia now be having half an eye on that Test series start in Adelaide. I don't think they need to make changes going into Tuesday. Obviously, if Aaron Finch can declare himself fit, he'll come in. But I'd go the same again. I don't think they were far away, Australia, this evening. I thought they were just a little bit light with the batting. Now we can kind of look at it at hindsight in terms of the amount of runs that were scored. With the ball in hand, they did okay. The leg spinners were very, very good. I just thought that Matthew Wade could have used just Moses Unreeks that little bit, probably smarter than he did. Now they put up a decent show. They were probably a 7.5 out of 10 performance. The Aussies, they weren't that far off. It's T20 cricket. You're talking real kind of small margins that win the game, and someone like Hardik Pandya playing an absolute blinder towards the end. So I don't think Justin Langer will be too critical of his team's performance.
Well, quick one to finish, Michael. If you do see Aaron Finch coming back in there, given they had 7 bowling options today and the possibility of Stoinis, who didn't bowl, that makes it 8. So if Finch does come in, you think he walks in instead of one of the extra bowling options?
No, I think he'd just come in for Darcy Short. Darcy's not really come out of the traps and played with a great deal of freedom. I hate the expression, but I'll use it. He's chewing up too many balls. He's not kind of swinging the bat like I've seen him swing. And he's got his own conditions. Generally in Asian conditions, when the ball's spinning, he does struggle. But at home in Australian conditions, which he's obviously batting in now, he's generally been very, very strong and good. So I think Finch should just come straight in for Darcy Short. Matthew Wade at the top of the order, he worked. So I think that's going to be something that they might carry on while ever David Warner can't play in the T20 team.
Yeah, so you'll have the actual captain, the stand-in captain, possibly opening together on Tuesday for Australia if Finch is fit. And that'll be an explosive combination with Finch and Wade. But for Team India, that'll be the interesting one. We've got some of the players on duty in the test tune-up game. We've talked about that test game already. So you've got Navdeep Saini in there. Shami was rested. Manish Pandey has not quite got a look in. That's the one name, Zaheer Khan. You see Manish Pandey popping in here?
Not really. I think, yes, if he had been fit for this game, then, maybe they would have continued with that. But Shreyas played a good hand. I just feel that there might be confusion around who is batting at what number, because Shreyas is someone who is not used to batting at number 6. We've seen that he's more comfortable at the top. Maybe 3 or 4 is his more suited number for him. But the same case with Sanju Samson. So I think they have a very similar sort of players in that squad that is going to make it a little tough for them to adapt to the new roles. And most likely, I see them continuing with the same playing 11. Maybe the batting order shift for certain individuals.
Yeah, fair enough. But I guess it was just a matter of Hardik, as we thought at the start of the innings, padded up and ready to come in when they needed to seriously up the ante. Michael, so do you look at the same 11 really?
Yeah, I think so. Unless one or two of the bowlers are a little bit sore with the game obviously starting on Tuesday, but I think Virat will be quite happy to take the same 11 out. They played a fantastic game. They were smart in the field at times. It's just that fielding aspect. We spoke a bit about it at the halfway stage. India have to improve the fielding. They're good athletes. They manoeuvre around the ball well, but they're dropping too many balls. So I always believe that when you win a game, that's the time to be critical of your team. When you lose, like Australia have, you can kind of just pat it on the and move away. But India, if they want to be the best team and go on and win World Cups, they've got to pinpoint that fielding aspect, because it will cost them. It'll cost them in a big game one day. And it may be a semi-final of the World Cup. It might be the World Cup final. So they've got to improve the fielding.
Yep. Spoken like a true skipper. You've got to remember, cannot get complacent after a win. Don't necessarily have to sulk after a loss. I think it's a good mantra to follow. Similar to if you happen to be on a page when you're trying to interpret a question from Joy Bhattacharya, and like Michael and Zaheer, you're not quite getting there. Have faith. Have faith. You'll get there in the end. Michael's already holding his head. Not that again.
I've got no clue about this one.
Yeah, it was a tough one, but I can tell you folks, it was all in the phrasing of the question. And the reason why the grammar appears to be a little bit wanting is because the gender was the question. It was the gender issue, and that's why there are no he's mentioned. It was not one day international score for his country. I could have said for the country, but we kind of like skirted in there because it was not a he, it was a her. And which her was it? Let's get the answer for you. The answer was Amelia Kerr of New Zealand. After that 2 not out, batting at number 10, came 232 not out against Ireland, the third highest ever score in ODI cricket. And that's across, of course, all formats in terms of gender. So that was a good answer. Amelia Kerr from New Zealand. And who was it who picked it up? Was it a lady or a gent? Because we've got... no, it better not be. It better not be Mrs. Yadav. Is it? Come on. Is it you? Is it you? Oh, yes, it's him. It's him. Rohit Yadav. Maybe his sister helped him if he has a sister. Come on, say that. I mean, we've got to try and get some differentiators. But when it's a tough question, the old adage, the tough certainly get going. And it was Rohit Yadav who came up with that one. Come on, guys. It's up to all of you guys and girls to try and challenge that. Hashtag #Cricbuzz Live if you want to get a question in for all of us. And hashtag Cricbuzz Live if you want to beat Rohit Yadav to get into Joy's questions first. Because you know that Zaheer Khan and Michael Vaughan will not be in queue. It'll take them a little longer to interpret Joy's rather difficult ones that he's starting to set. Maybe he'll go a little easier on us on Tuesday. Joy, I hope you're listening. Zach and Michael are not happy with you. Please do something about it for Tuesday.
It's like facing a mystery bowler. You have to read it offhand. And if you don't watch the hand, you're going to be clueless. So me and Michael are clueless like that. We're not watching the hand.
Yeah, Joy, show your hand from time to time. Come on, let us into a little bit more of it.
But Rohit Yadav has figured him. He just watches the hand, knows exactly what he's throwing at him, and goes for it.
At least you're being kind, Zach. You're saying he's figured him out, Michael. There was enough conspiracy theories going around that's actually Joy Bhattacharya's alter ego. And there is no Rohit Yadav who exists.
No, I wouldn't rule that out.
No, we found out he exists. He's a very avid quizzer, and we've just got to find a way for everybody else to try and beat him. What we've thrown from time to time is a challenge for Rohit Yadav to himself come up with some really good questions. And I can tell you on behalf of Joy, that promise is on. Send us a few questions, #Cricbuzz Live, and if Joy likes them, we'll have your question up there, which you, of course, can't answer, instead of Joy's. There you go. That's a good way to finish off, a little Sunday gift for our champion quizzer. Also, a good time to say thank you very much to Michael Vaughan, to Zaheer Khan, and to all of you as we celebrate yet another 6th of December triumph for Team India. They've won the T20 International Series, but it's not all over. Australia can come back and get that momentum back on track before the Test Series is on. 1:10 p.m. on Tuesday. We'll see you soon. My 11 Circle presents Cricbuzz Live.